Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss the fact that whiskey is number 1 when it comes to online alcohol sales. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Poole, Old Man Bay, Darren McRoy, and Katie Joyce.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
So yes, we'll get to that after the break. We will preface this, as McNew says, by letting you know, not direct to consumer from a distillery, winery, whatever. I think and I haven't seen this. This is more like the services, Drizzlies, and things like that, or Instacart, or whatever. Actually, you can get alcohol from, either delivered to your house from a local service, or you can have it, picked up at the store where they'll get it for you. Those type of services, whiskey is number 1. So we'll talk about that. Why we think that is versus other distilled spirits, wine, beer, you name it. Whiskey is apparently number 1, and we'll speculate why we think that is. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Katie said there's something she wanted to talk about to preface before we get to today's topic.
Yes. So we are recording this on April 21st, and officially starting today, Mercury's in the microwave is what I call it. So Mercury's in retrograde, which sounds
retroactive. I called it the other day.
Bunch of freaking baloney. But I had the craziest freaking day in court. I was stuck in court until 1:15. I had to cancel an appointment, move another one. Another clients came in. They had to reschedule because I was stuck on the phone with a counselor about whole issues with a custody deal. Had to call in a hotline on another kid. Like, it was a crazy day. I was like, is it a full moon? Because normally in my office, I can tell when it's a full moon. And if it's sometimes I have said I will just close my office on full moons because people act crazy. And I looked, I was like, no, it's a new moon. It's not a full moon. I was like, what about Mercury? That little stinker. I was like, I bet it's messing with people. And I looked it up, and it's the very first day that Mercury's in retrograde. And I was like, I'll be damned. People were crazy. And then I looked it up. It wasn't like I looked it up first and then was like, oh, people are going to be crazy. And then I was out there proving it. I noticed people were crazy first and then went to look. So I want to know if anyone else notices this, or if it's maybe just the legal field with custody cases that people are always crazy and I'm blaming it on something.
You know what? There's something to this, because most of the people I talked to today were crazy.
Right?
Well,
you were at our shop for like 5 hours.
Yeah, that's most of them.
Coincidence. That being said, Pam was there for a little bit, so yeah, she was.
When I was on the fire department, it was same thing on full moon nights. We were nuts.
Yeah, but what about Mercury retrograde is what we're talking about.
Okay, see, listen, I didn't do well in science.
I don't have even heard of this until I met McNew. I don't know what Mercury retrogration is.
Go into retrograde, and how long does it last?
Okay, this is my thing. Let me tell you. So
Mercury
it is
retribution.
retrograde until May 14th, which it doesn't actually spin backwards, but it's the position of the Earth makes it look like it's going backwards. But Mercury is the planet of communication. So communications are all off. Like, you could really say hi to somebody and be like, you told me to go fuck myself today. So like, it messes up communication. That's why you were on the phone so many times, Katie. That's why it's bad for travel too. Like, I try not to travel if it's Mercury retrograde. Like, I don't even want to go to the next town.
What in the hell are we talking about?
It's a thing, you guys.
Is it really a thing?
It is. And it happens 3 times a year. It does happen 2 times.
Do you have to wear like aluminum helmets? Like
no.
So McNew. All right. So
never
McNew,
heard of this.
I was dealing with a stranger today, buying something through Facebook Marketplace for the new thing that we're doing, and she said, because I said I can't get it till tomorrow. She says, "Are you seriously going to get it, or are you going to be one of these that then doesn't show up?" And I said, I don't skip out on these things, but somehow I hit an F on there, and it said I don't skip out on these F things, like I was saying fucking things. Was that Mercury retrograde that got me? Because I had
communication.
I apologize to the woman. So the phone did. I swear the phone did that. The F doesn't belong in there.
Yeah. No,
and then I shared about the shop, and I'm like, "This is who I am." Now you know who I am. I'm not. I'm not going to put this out there, but I'm not being rude either. But it seemed like I was being rude.
Yeah, so that's it.
I don't know where the random F came from. I think it's got to be Mercury. I'll tell her.
Dude, your phone has been hacked for so long in somebody's, but it's been sitting there waiting
for
the right moment just to hit.
They put an F in there.
But it's technology too. So like text messages, like you're probably going to be like saying a lot of words you didn't mean to say, just like that. Like expect it a lot the next 3 weeks.
It's Mercury.
It's bound to happen.
It got me good. She said it's communication related. That was communication related. It got me good.
Travel.
I have no idea. This could be like a little old woman. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. So like if your internet's out at the shop tomorrow, or you get like weird phone calls or weird issues, like blame it on Mercury. Blame it on Mercury.
Fucking Mercury. Got me. All right.
Just blame it that you're Arnold.
On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'm going first. I have the Boxing Bear. The Boxing Bear. That's brought to you by the ABV Barrel Shop. Exclusively there.
A known winner.
Mine was good, but not as good as Kathy's. Kathy's was explosive, so I don't know. We'll see. It could be enough. I'm hoping it's enough, but we'll check it out. Next up is going to be Old Man Bay.
I am drinking the Gary Pick Bloody Butcher Red.
Okay. Okay, that was really good. A little sloshy at the end, but still enough on the cork pop to get.
That was the best cork pop I've ever had on this show.
Okay.
That sounded really good.
That's good.
It was quite good. Sounded like a tidal wave though. There was a tsunami that happened after that. It was not just a little slosh there, buddy. That was a lot. But
it was the excitement.
Right. Yeah, mm-hmm. Katie, you're next. What do you got?
Well, so I made my third change in deciding what I wanted to use for this episode. And I went with Kentucky Owl St. Patrick's Edition, because this is one that I ordered online because I wanted the St. Patrick's Edition because I like labels.
Oh, you little ne'er-do-well. Yes. Oh, yes. Quite the lassie you are. Okay. A likable cork pop, but not enough. Not enough. Kathy, you're next.
I'm gonna take out the Wilderness Trail.
Okay. Bassy. Very bassy. Very bassy. Not enough to take over Old Man Bay. He's got the lead. Darren, you're next.
Bassy.
I got some Neely Family Distillery.
Okay. Guy who invented bourbon. Okay, no, not enough. Barely.
They're also the world's largest distributor, Neely Family Distributor.
That's how he got so successful. How he got so successful. All right, McNew, you're last but not least. Yeah.
I'm going with some Brothers Bond.
Yeah. Mercury got you there.
Mercury. Sorry. Pop silent.
Sorry. Yeah.
Mercury and its Gatorade got you there.
Cheers to Old Man Bay.
Wow.
Mercury Gatorade got her. All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about whiskey being #1 for online sales. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. Danny, though, you are between Jim and Victory. What do you got?
I have an Indiana rye.
Sure, Danny.
Tumble dice.
Cumbledice. Yes, I love Cumbledice. I'm sure that's the name of the brand, Cumbledice. Sure.
Tumble dice.
Oh, Tumble Dice. Okay.
Yes.
Let's
Freddie Mills of Ruse.
Okay. Freddie Mills of Ruse.
So we're about to pop it.
No, that was all desk is what that was. All desk, no pop. Jim wins. So Jim, you got it there, man.
Hey.
Congrats, Jim.
Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about whiskey being number one in online sales.
Yes, we are. So as we talk about this, if you're like, wait a second, what about wine? Go back. We prefaced all of that at the beginning of the show. Just rewind and you've skipped past something. And go back. We cover all that. We're not covering it again. So it's out there. So whiskey why do we think whiskey is number one for these online? Is it a convenience thing?
I have a question. Is it number one in dollars or number one in quantity?
Oh,
dollars.
I think that's why.
Oh, well, that's a big answer there then. That was a good question, Kathy.
You're welcome. And the show's over.
I have a different reason.
Not necessarily. Liquor, whiskey isn't number one in online dollars in any other way. I mean,
and like in-person sales or anything. But
yeah. So when we're talking about in-person, like if you break down what Total Wine sold today, and you're like, okay, what's your whiskey sales? What's your beer sales? What's your wine sales, and all that? Whiskey's not going to be number one, but it is number one for these online. So why is that? That's the question. Is why is that when we're talking about that?
The availability and the distribution of it, that we have so much of state to state, region to region. Of you're in Texas, you can get Weller Special Reserve no problem in some places, but it is completely unheard of to find in other parts of the country. And so there's some of that, and if you can find somewhere that can ship to your state. So I think what vodka can you not find everywhere? Like I'm sure if there's a vodka lover listening, they're yelling out random brands, but I think there's so many brands of whiskey that aren't available across the country. So you're looking for them online to ship through these companies that will ship them to another state, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But is this shipping or is this like Instacart?
I guess I did.
It's like it is like Drizzly, Instacart, local
Okay.
things we're talking.
Oh, okay.
Can't go across state lines, probably.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably not.
One of my local liquor stores, they have an app, and they will personally deliver it to your house if you live in the town of Greenfield. So I like it because I can see their own inventory, and I don't actually have to go look for myself, because I don't want to want something and not be able to get it.
So yeah, that could be it. That could be it. So like if you drink Coors, you know that almost every store has Coors. If you drink certain bourbon brands, not every store carries it all the time. So maybe that's part of it, because you order, so you know either they've got it if you're going to go, because you can order online and go pick it up at certain places, or you want it delivered to your house. You know that it's not going to be worth driving up to a place if they don't have it. So maybe that's part of it. Is
I think you can serve several stores.
Right.
Maybe similar to like craft beer, and that's not going to be available at every store. You have to check to see who has it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And maybe the fact that it's a little bit more expensive means the fact that people are more likely to do it. Because if I'm just going to order, I want a 12-pack because I've got some friends coming over, I'm going over with some buddies, it seems like I should just get in the store. I don't want to pay any sort of Instacart fees or whatever might be added onto there to add on to, what is a pretty low thing. Whereas bourbon, if I'm buying a $80 bottle of bourbon or $100 bottle of bourbon, adding $5 onto that doesn't really change that much.
No,
that's probably part of it too.
The craft beer. So one of my brother's favorite beers is hard to find, but their website has a store finder. I can literally type in the name of this beer and it'll say it's at XYZ stores. Bourbon doesn't do that, and I think it's just because their distribution's a little more complicated. But if they had that would also be wonderful.
That would help. That would help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Instacart and their accuracy, maybe part of it's their accuracy. One of my employees today was telling me how she ordered Instacart and she asked for 6 bananas, and they brought her 6 bunches. She had 46 bananas delivered to her house.
Why anybody utilizes those services unless they're like elderly or something, or there's a health reason? I don't understand.
Working people do that.
I've had a job my whole life, and I've gone to the grocery store even when I had a corporate job and everything else.
You work corporate in a different era, Steve.
Yes, it was
when they didn't have Instacart.
And I think COVID's a big part of it. With COVID, people weren't going to stores. We got used to ordering online, and then now I've gone back to in-store because I've gotten lazy to the point that I can't even bother to figure out what I want in order. I just need to walk in the store and do it. But absolutely make a huge difference for people who work and they're trying to get home for their kids' activities, whatever else they have, to order it and have it picked up.
I think,
or delivered.
To me, being someone who's part of a society, and I am part of a society. I live in society. I'm part of that, and part of that function is going to the grocery store, because you see, it's not just an activity. You see the new things, what's coming out, what are the trends. You're part of society. You're not insulated in your little cocoon at your house, pushing a button and someone brings it to you. That's ridiculous, and I'm sorry. I don't have any. I work more hours. I guarantee I work more hours than anyone that's listening to this show. 100%. I guarantee you. If you tell me whatever hours you work per week, take that and take it. The person who has the highest, take it by time and a half, and that's how much I work a day. I'm telling you.
I think that Steve just challenged Demetrius came to a fight. So
yeah, that's a person who definitely came to mind. Was Demetrius. Also, like
Sundays,
I will go.
He gets half a day off on Sundays.
I don't get a half this episode as well. While you may work a little more than me, I don't think you do time and a half of what I do.
So my day begins every day at 5 a.m. At 5 a.m. I work on the computer for 4 hours, and then I go in, I drive to the shop, and then I work from whatever time that is till 8 p.m. And then at 8 p.m. and then I come home and I have dinner. I have dinner at 9 o'clock at night. I'm working that whole time while dinner's being prepared, and then I'll work till about 11, and then I go to bed. So between those 6 hours of sleep, that's when I'm off. That's it. Other than that, unless I schedule something. Because I'm like, okay, I need to schedule.
You're also putting in meals, and I'm hoping showers in the time that you're working.
Well, not when I'm working. That's what it would be. Yes, that would be after I finish things up. So I'll finish things up at 8:30, jump in the shower, and be at the shop by 9. That's because I live 7 minutes from the shop, so I can do that and get in the car and I'm there at night. That's it.
So
I don't actually eat during the day. You can ask Jim. I don't eat during the day. I did today because I was dying, but that was a rarity. But I usually eat power bars. But I'm working on my computer now. I am. My job isn't like. There's people who work way harder than me when you're talking about someone working on a road crew or construction. Yeah, there's harder jobs than mine, because some of it's sitting at the bar talking to people. But I am still working at that point, even when I'm doing stuff like that. But
right.
When we get downtimes, like there's no customers around there, I got to run over to my computer because I got to write things for Bourbon Zeppelin. I got to write shows. I mean, that's how much I work. When I get home, the wife's usually the one making dinner, so I'm on the couch and I'm working on the computer, and then I eat. And what's that take? 15 minutes. So that's the 2 hours between 8 and, I get home at 8:15, 8:20.
So if you didn't have a bourbon store, would you be ordering your bourbon via Instacart, or would this be part of your weekly grocery shopping?
No, I would make it. I would schedule. I have to schedule things like I'll schedule. I'm going to be off Sunday morning for 2 hours, and I'll allocate that 2 hours to shopping or whatever it is. So yeah. So I haven't been to the grocery store in a while, unfortunately. I want to go to the grocery store, but
overrated.
Visit the grocery store aisles.
So I got to go visit the grocery store. Part of society.
I have a different reason why whiskey's the number one.
But you want to talk about the topic?
What?
I want to get my words in. I think the people that drink whiskey aren't ashamed of how much they drink. As much, if someone, an Instacart shopper got an order and it said 4 handles of vodka, immediately they're getting judged. And every time they click that button on their phone, they feel self-conscious about themselves. Oh, I really can't let anyone else see this, that I like vodka, the most plain, basic, not good thing ever. So that's really what's driving up the whiskey scales, is that we're brave enough to do it.
I think you have a point, because, drinking handles of vodka isn't classy, but ordering like 4 bottles of whiskey, it's a fun hobby. We're not alcoholics. It's a hobby. We're collectors.
That's a good point. It's a hobby. Yeah.
It is a hobby. I do think because it's a hobby, there's discretionary income there. It tends to be people are a little bit more affluent and can afford services and things like that. So that certainly plays into it as well. So yes, I think that. So I don't think there's one answer here, right? I mean, the answer to the question is it's a lot of different reasons why whiskey's number
multiple factors. Yeah,
it's multiple factors. Yeah.
I'll say my piece there. Okay.
Sure.
So I think the reason is why whiskey is so popular on online sales is because they have a wider selection. There's convenience. It's competitive pricing. There's always reviews and recommendations.
What is this chat? Did you tell you to say this? Yeah, 100%. He's looking over the
online
computer.
Retailers offer.
He's looking at a computer and reading shit, which is exactly how I know what the show to be. I want to have real Matt Bay talking, not AI Matt Bay. Yeah.
Okay. I had to do it.
I was told until I saw you keep looking over.
Right,
I'm curious to know his reasonings behind this.
I didn't want to pick my other monitor up and hold it over.
I was like, I don't know how truthful this is. Number of options and all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options in other segments too. Yeah. So,
and the gift giving option. I mean, come on.
When Instacart's a gift.
What?
I might.
Oh yeah, we have.
You're going to a dinner party that night.
Oh
yeah, they could do that. You could do that.
I was picturing the Instacart taking it to the person.
Oh.
Hello, this is Instacart.
Hello, have your whiskey.
I want to Instacart me whiskey gifts now.
I have an Instacart for you.
Don't think this up yet.
I go and turn into a singing gram immediately.
I know, right?
I would be thrilled if I opened my door and there was like a guy who's like, you have to sign for this. And I'm like, I ordered
What is it?
He sends me whiskey. That's going to be a good day. I like that idea.
I'll tell you a story.
That won't
and this
happen
is no joke.
Gatorade.
My wife and I were sitting at a bar one day, and somebody talked about a particular brand of spirits, and she's like, "Ooh, that sounds really good." Now, mind you, we've been at this bar for quite a while, so she says, "Ooh, that sounds really good." And then next thing you know, she says, "All right, we got to go." I said, "What? what do you mean we got to go? She goes, oh, I ordered that bottle on Instacart. It's going to be at the house here in a minute. I got to be there to sign for it. I'm like, you ordered alcohol while we're at a bar drinking alcohol?
Yeah. And Instacart is now running your life because you got to be home when they need you there. So,
Can't they just leave it on the porch?
Who's in charge?
Not
alcohol. They can't leave it.
See,
on
that's
the
why I
porch.
have it delivered to my office, so my staff has to sign for it.
Yeah. So if it's alcohol,
If they show up that day,
It requires them to show up. Minor detail. I mean, my mom will sign for it.
There you go. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Bourbon Adventures. Also coming soon, several days a week at the ABV Barrel Shop.
Okay. Old Man Bay.
You can find me on all social media at Old Man Bay Signs.
Kathy.
I am on Instagram as KK Cask Strength.
McNew.
I'm at McNew ABV.
Katie.
You can find me working hard, but less than Steve, who works probably 1.45 times more than me, not 1.5.
Okay.
We're going to get technical.
1.45.
Yes. Yeah. And also over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
Absolutely. I don't even watch TV. I mean, the TV is on sometimes, but I'm on the computer working. I have to. I miss a lot of the shows too. I mean, I can watch a show and be like, oh, and the wife will turn over and say, what do you think of that? I'm like, who won? What?
It's rare. I'm like, oh, I was answering this email.
Yeah, exactly. I get that stuff. I do that stuff a lot, but again, anything I'm done, I am not complaining because it's the world I've set up, and I love it. I love doing what I'm doing, so that's good. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me at the ABV Barrel Shop. We are in the St. Louis suburb of Arnold, Missouri. We'd love to see you. If not, at a very minimum, go over to our website and sign up for email and text distribution. You'll know what's going on, what kind of things we've got coming up, all that kind of good stuff. abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
That went much smoother when I gave you the line I normally do.
It was the right prompt. It just made my brain click that I was so
like when you're in church service, you just go along with the flow, and if it messes up at all, you forget everything.
You cannot switch it up for me.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right. On that note, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.